Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another Cyberpunk Edgerunners video. Except this time, it's not really going to be focused on the collab itself. It's going to be focused on some of the after effects of the collaboration. Because Wuthering Waves, as well as some other Cyberpunk IPs, they've gotten a pretty big shout out over here when it comes to the resurgence, the popularity of Cyberpunk 2077 coming back into the mainstream. You got this post over here about how the current player count actually surpassed 100K, the highest it's been since 2023. And then you got Powell Sasko, somebody who works at CD Projekt Red, giving some congratulations to, you know, some of the parties that he thinks are involved. So we got tons of new chews seem to be discovering 2077. And if you haven't played it yet, I do recommend you do. You're probably going to like it. Thanks to Edgerunners, and perhaps, possibly, more importantly, not really though, our collab with WuWa. Then you got the little smiley face over here. Have fun, my dears. Hope it's going to keep you hooked, entertained, and inspired. And you can probably tell what's going on, right? This is one of the best times in recent history for the Cyberpunk IP. Because you had one of, if not the most well-received collabs in gacha history over here with this bad boy. I don't think that there's anyone singing anything but praises about what they were experiencing over here. And then you combine that with the fact, right, that this was like kind of like a joint attack alongside, well, you guessed it over here, the Edgerunners Season 2, like, official announcement, all of that, with its new cast of characters and its new cast of cyber psychos. Well, that's what took front stage as well, just only 6 days ago. So, basically, this was like coordination between all of the parties involved. And what this essentially means, ladies and gentlemen, is that Wuthering Waves was like an essential part of CD Projekt Red's marketing run for the entire Cyberpunk franchise. Because everybody is winning right now. And in retrospect, this might be the best collaboration that, like, a game has ever had with another IP. Because everyone's winning. CD Projekt Red is winning. Edgerunners Season 2, the hype surrounding the trailer, it's winning as well. A lot of people are looking forward to this one. A game that was released way back 5.6 years ago, guys. It's also getting revived as well. And Wuthering Waves, well, if you've been keeping up with Wuthering Waves and how it's been doing just in terms of like other gacha games, we all remember this mobile revenue chart over here. We found out that WuWa's results are actually being understated and is comfortably well ahead of its competitors over here because it's been understated the whole time, according to this mobile projection website of revenue. And it still beat the other games during this collab. And then, of course, when you see some of the supplying information surrounding this collaboration, right? The fact that it was ranked #1 on Steam in the US and in Japan, right? The fact it's getting recognized over here in, like, official talks as well.
Inspiration.
Right? You're getting actual CD Projekt Red members. Then you see over here it's ranked #1 in Billy and all of that goodness. And then seeing just how much Counter-Strike made, right, in June 2026 and seeing the global revenue. Well, when you see Wuthering Waves ahead of that, you can kind of get a grasp. Oh, they're making millions of dollars in revenue as well on Steam. So that's how Wuthering Waves is getting its winning from the collaboration. And so when you factor in everything, you're seeing everything that's going on over here, right? How else can you describe this relationship between these two companies as anything other than an absolute complete success? That's just a bit of like a look. That's just a bit of like an overview, right? Of just how stuff's been growing over time. And as you can see, right? This is a little bit of like a blip compared to how popular the game used to be on Steam. But still, that is a pretty solid number. And taking a look at this, right? You can see over here. That's just the level of growth that I'm talking about. It doesn't look like that consistent. But once again, that's almost 100% since down here. But that doesn't really look like that much. But as you can see, right? Just from May, they were at 50K. So that's a near 100% increase in the number of players in 1 month. And Wuthering Waves is taking some of the credit over here. Because naturally, right? I don't think that the Wuthering Waves player numbers during the actual collab reached this point. But it's also not fair to say that Wuthering Waves is the main platform, or Steam is the main platform that Wuthering Waves players are playing on. But Steam is probably one of the main platforms for where people are playing Cyberpunk 2077. Because it's either Steam or like GOG. And like, I'm pretty sure most people are going for it on Steam, where it's probably on like sale and stuff like that. Probably also scheduled alongside the collab. The end result of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very, very simple. Everybody involved wants more. Everybody. More people, right? Want more Wuthering Waves collaborations. People were able to see what a gacha company, or really just a gaming company, was able to do with the overarching story of another IP in their game. People would probably be very happy to see another type of like Edgerunners level collaboration featuring the Season 2 characters in this game. Because they know that Kuro knows how to tell a good story. There's a reason why this quest was called Edgerunners Episode 11. So I am very, very, very confident anybody, right, who's a fan of the Cyberpunk IP, or really any CD Projekt Red IP, would be happy to see another story told in the Wuthering Waves style in the Wuthering Waves universe. A lot of people are talking about Witcher for a good reason as well. And so with that in mind, right, a lot more people, they want more of this stuff. Guess what, guys? That also means a lot more people want to play Cyberpunk. They just want to see more of Night City. They just want to see more of the world. They like the cyber psychosis. They like the cyberware. They like all that stuff. So that's where you're going to see it more from this angle. What do you think the next Cyberpunk game is looking like in terms of popularity? Probably going to be a good setup, good alley-oop for that one. Still has a modern feel to it. And then, well, guess what? Do you think Edgerunners, its trailer, and all of that, they do nearly as well without some of the hype going on over here? Without, right, all of the hype of one of the best stories ever told in a game being ported from the anime? Probably not too. And guess what? I feel like there's a ton of people now who weren't really even thinking about watching Edgerunners Season 2 because they weren't even thinking about watching Edgerunners Season 1, which was me. Well, guess what? I've watched all of Edgerunners Season 1 now, and now I'm very interested in seeing Part 2. Definitely a different vibe than what I saw in Part 1, but hopefully it's it's gonna defy some of the earliest expectations that I have. And of course, I should probably trust CD Projekt Red at this point, knowing how well they've done with stories. And that's sort of the vibe. That's the atmosphere. I feel like everyone is ready to, well, just consume more and more of the IPs from everybody involved. And that is exactly what a collaboration is supposed to do. Because if you're not, then it really is just a cash grab. And the one thing that I have to tell you guys is this. Think back to the other collabs, think back to the other IPs that we've seen in gacha games. The only one that truly comes to memory, right, is Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works with Honkai Star Rail. And this is the question that I have to ask you, and then I want you to take your response to this question and apply it to the Cyberpunk Edgerunner situation. After seeing the implementation of Unlimited Blade Works, the Fate collab, all of this stuff, Britain, after seeing all of this, right, the, sorry, where's the silent film piece? I mean, you can't forget the silent film piece as well, right? Even the music is making fun of you. It's supposed to be a joke. They know this is you are the joke. After seeing that, Britain. Bro, is she even voiced? Anyways, Britain. The sword in the stone, the lady of the lake. Where's the lake? I'm sorry. Wait, there wasn't even a lake either? Bro, where's the lake? It's called the Lady of the Lake. That's where the... Do you feel like you want to get into the Fate IP? Do you want to go watch Unlimited Blade Works after this? Do you want to go watch Heaven's Feel? Do you want to go watch Fate Stay Night? Do you want to go watch... Bro, like, what do you want to do with the Fate IP after this, except delete it from your memory? Does this make you want to go play FGO or any of this shit afterwards? No, it doesn't. And if a collab doesn't make you want to, like, go check out the other IPs, if the collab doesn't make you more interested in the collaborating game, what the fuck is the point? Like, bro, it's just there literally to just milk you then. It's there to just, like, take a part of your nostalgia. Because I think every player who played this collab, they went into it and they hate Honkai Star Rail more, and they hate Fate more than they did before. Like, they go in and both IPs are lower quality after the game, or after the experience, after the quest. And that's the end result, guys. And so part of this, right, is I don't know how much of this positive response towards the Cyberpunk collab, right, is truly out of the amazing quality of the quest. How much of it is actually from people just appreciating a collab that isn't a piece of shit? Because you'll get to a point where if the stuff that you've seen is so bad, something that's just, like, not terrible can be enough to earn praise. But I think the reality over here of this collab, right, seeing how it's gotten integrated into the game, the actual universal level of praise it's gotten, it's beyond that. Because I really don't think that this collab needed to be that great to be considered the best one ever. But it just happened to be amazing on top of having, you know, an awful track record in gacha games, or really just gaming as a whole when it came to collab quality in the first place. And when people just see quality, and they just see good things being done, even when your game happens to have, right, one of the cheapest gacha systems ever relative to its competition, even the game with one of the most player-friendly gacha systems, it will actually beat games that are giving you 50 pulls a patch. Because where do you think people get the pulls to pull their characters if you're getting 60 pulls a patch like in Genshin? They're paying money. And imagine beating the game over here, where the only way to actually get the characters is to pay money, because the game literally does not give you enough pulls. And that's just kind of the situation over here. And you don't get that done without a high quality game, because you're beating on volume compared to actual spending at that point. People are spending less than they would to get things in this game than they would in others. You just got more people paying and more people playing and more people paying. Does this seem like the type of collab that was getting more people playing and paying? I don't know about that one. Just wanted to give more congratulations, more flowers for one of the best things that's ever occurred in gacha and probably just gaming as a whole, because you're seeing how far the impact of a good collab, you're seeing just how far it can go. You start saving and reviving games, doubling player counts of games that are nearly 6 years old. Let me know what you all thought about this one. Peace out.